Friends to me are people who feel like home, who support me unconditionally. They will always have my back. That's my friends to me, and that's what they mean to me. Friends to me are people who feel like home, who support me unconditionally. They will always have my back. That's my friends to me, and that's what they mean to me.
Hey, and welcome back, Profiteers, to another episode of Soaring Prophet and Friends. Little thing where I gather all the people that I've met through our interviews and life and have them showcase all the positivity and love and beautiful life changes that can help you, help themselves, and just make the world a much beautifuler place. Just here on a Sunday run, enjoying the outside and the day. My son just left, which is always a hard point for me, but anyway. So out there getting my goals. It's end of January, beginning of February for you people. And I hope you're out there getting your goals. Right now, yesterday I just finished skiing. And February, Valentine's Day, I'll be heading to Portugal to do a little backpacking trip through cities. Something I wanted to do when I was 18 years old. Going back, you know, I kind of failed in high school to ski. I was too afraid, never left the bunny hill. So I went back to that because you know what? I knew it would give me joy. I knew it was something I was afraid of. I knew it was important to me to go back and reclaim that. So I did. And I went skiing. I had a great day. I'm a little sore. A lot more work than I thought it would be. But stoked that I did it. Coming up here, I'm going to go to Portugal. Going to live in hostels out of a backpack. Wanted to do that when I was 17, 18. Just my life never let me have a chance. But now, through this mind, body, spirit, and Pat says money journey, I put myself in a position that I can do this. And it's amazing. Life is a positive journey. It's something you can do by starting small and building big. I started small. For me, the biggest problem I had was my weight. It was the thing that held me back time and time again. I couldn't fit on roller coasters to be with my kids. I couldn't run. I was always tired. I hated being in public. I hated being seen, being the center of attention. I hated meeting new people. Life was tough. So I worked on that one thing that I thought would make my life better. And I centered it on weight, and I was very successful. And then I started working on my mind and my spirit, my soul, and then my money. And now I'm at this point where I have the body, I have the beautiful, happy mind, I have the money, and I have the ability to not be afraid of anything. So I'm out there getting my goals. This January has been nothing but bucket list after bucket list after bucket list. I'm not gonna wait till I almost die. I'm gonna get this done now. So I suggest get out there, enjoy life. Start small, work big. Find the thing that will give you the most happiness, start working on that. And like dominoes, like the domino journey, I keep on vlogging, keep on mentioning because it's beautiful. They will fall. Your joy will build. Your inspiration will build. Your energy will build till you get to the point where you're a locomotive that cannot stop going. Doesn't matter what wall's ahead of you. You burst right through it. And then you're not looking at January resolutions. Screw those things. You're working on life resolutions. Every day, every moment, you're getting something. Your life's moving forward. You got joy, you got happiness, you got money. Get out there, change your life. Smart, small. The smallest domino ends with the giant domino. I love y'all. Let's heal our minds, bodies, and souls together. Soaring Prophets. James speaking. Have a wonderful day. I totally am.
Friends to me are people who feel like home, who support me unconditionally.
Good morning, Profiteers. Patrick, as always, for our Soaring Prophets and Friends segment. Again, thanks to James for putting these together and everyone else that puts content together. Great to see it. Love doing these, and I really appreciate your support in watching them. So I tend to be the finance guy, talk a little bit of money, the economy, where the world's going. And obviously, over the last little while, we've had some tumultuous things come up. Yesterday, we got some information from the United States Federal Reserve Bank and Jerome Powell, where he's come out and he's softening a little bit. I'm having lots of conversations with people that are wondering and concerned about, what mortgages are going to look like. Renewals are coming up for a lot of people in the next year and a half. And going from, an interest rate on your mortgage from, 2.5%, maybe 3%. And now you're finding yourself in a situation where you're refinancing your property that is going to be, 6, 7. And if we continue to raise rates over the next little while, maybe 8, 9%. So a lot of people are concerned and are wondering kind of what's next. So yesterday, Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States, came out and said, listen, we're going to continue raising rates, which affects everything we do, affects your mortgage rates, it affects your lending if you're going to go buy a new car, all that. Mind you, I might have been saying for a while that now is not the time to go out and do that. However, people need cars, people need things. I understand that. But when is going to be the best time to buy? So we are on the verge of a recession, I would argue, and we've been saying for a long time that really I think most people are probably feeling recessionary pressures already. Inflation costs are going up. But statistically, we're seeing that inflation start to cool. So what that does is that allows in Canada here, we have the Bank of Canada, which sets all those rates. So the Bank of Canada, which is like the Federal Reserve Bank in the United States, is saying that they think that there are probably 1, maybe 2 more rate hikes in planned, and then a stop. So they're just going to sit for a while and see what the economy does. Now, I don't know about you folks, but I think most people have noticed their grocery bills have increased. Most people are realizing that at the end of the day, their dollar value is just not kind of going as far as it had been for a long time. But what do we do now? Yesterday, the stock market rallied after this information. And is it time to start buying in, fleshing out your RSPs, fleshing out your TFSAs? I'm a firm believer that if you're making over a 6-figure income from your job, maybe some of your side hustles, that sort of thing, your RRSPs are a great option because they're going to lower your tax basis. Okay, so let's say you make $100,000 a year. You're allowed to put 18% of your income into an RRSP, which allows you the opportunity to lower your tax basis. What is lowering your tax basis? Okay, $100,000. Let's say you're paying 35 to 37% on your money every year to the government. Got to make sure Trudeau gets his cut, right? Well, when you max out your RRSPs or you contribute to your RRSPs, you're given a percentage of that money back, right? So for $100,000, you're allowed to contribute $18,000 to that. Now, does everyone just have $18,000 kicking around with all the costs that have gone up? Obviously not. But if you think that there's a potential where you can get a return on your investment, if the stock market seems to be moving up, there's options where you can take out a loan. You can finance your RRSP contribution through a bank. Banks are looking at those as safer investments, right? Banks right now are not really thrilled about you going out and buying the new, Ford Bronco for $85,000, $90,000. That is crazy inflated right now because there was no cars for forever. So when the Bronco came out as a $50,000 car and ran to 60, 70, 80, it's really hard to find one of them that's under about $75,000 or $80,000 now. Banks don't want to give you that money because they realize that that's a depreciating asset. So it's going to go down in value over time. And they're worried about what that loan looks like. You have to really do well to qualify for those loans. And those of you that can do it, I would argue now is not the time to buy it. I think that if you wait a little bit, you're going to see these prices do what's going to be deflationary, okay? The best way to explain deflation, right? We've been going through a world of inflation for the last while, but deflation is when, if you had, I'm shooting this on an iPhone today. If you had an iPhone, it's $100, right? We're just using round numbers here, obviously. $100 iPhone. So last year we had, about 8% inflation, 8.25, 9-ish% inflation, call it. We'll call it 10 for round numbers, just for saying sake. You have a $100 iPhone, 10% inflation would be last year it went to $110, right? That makes sense? Well, this year, for that inflation to continue to happen at 10%, it has to go another 10% on top of that, right? So you've got like $121, $122 iPhone. Well, that's not happening, right? The economy's slowing enough, everything's starting to come around. Well, with that being said, the banks and the Federal Reserves and the central banks are all saying, look at prices are stopping. The inflation is stopping. We're having deflation because instead of 10, we're only at 5, 5.5, 6. That's not meaning that things are getting more affordable to live. It's that they're just not getting crazy expensive again. So what do? This is the time where you want to make sure that your income is secured. So many people are on the brink right now. If we look at all of the banks, the big tech companies out of the States, tens of thousands of people are being laid off, right? Google, Alphabet, the parent company of Google, just laid off 11,000 people. Everyone knows about Elon Musk and Twitter. He axed the 70% of the company. All of these big companies, these big tech companies, are looking down the road and seeing the recession on the kind of the long view, right? They're seeing it on the horizon. So we have to plan accordingly. So whether that means you're looking at a side hustle, what can you be doing to generate cash flow, right? So for myself, I have rental properties. I have my, the day job. That's giving me stability, okay? So I'm able to invest, max out my RRSPs, max out my TFSA contributions, and invest in the market. Now, if you're going to be a buy and hold person, so that means that you invest in, say, Apple, and you're just like, I'll put it in, I'll buy stock, and then I'm going to let it ride. This is going to be a painful process for you because you're just going to continue to buy it as it falls. Our market is not in a position where you want to be buying and holding, but you want to be trading. You want to find days where you're getting 2 and 3%, get in, get out, get in and get out. And this is not a hard process. This is something that if you look at some of the things that I've talked about over the last little while with TradingView, your free trading apps like Wealthsimple or Interactive Brokers that I use, these are easy tools that people can very easily learn. So instead of going out and driving for Uber or going out and skip the dishes delivery, If you take the time and set your mind to learning a new skill set, it can be world-changing for yourself, for your family, and it allows you an opportunity to create those cash flow streams that are very passive, right? It's not a huge effort. It just takes educating yourself. And obviously, folks, we here at Soaring Prophets, we talk about this and we try to give information in regards to this, and we hope that it benefits you. I know we talk a lot about the mental health side of things, the wellness. We're going to have some great guests the next little while in regards to that. But your finances is also a super important part of your life. I don't care how mentally stable you are. If you're struggling to put food on the table or you're worried about your bills, that's a huge stress. It's a huge stress in your life, your relationships, your children. It's a problem. You got to get your money right. And that's something that I think not a lot of people are willing to talk about, because it's kind of like politics, religion, and money. People don't want to talk about it. And I think that's a mistake. So folks, thank you again for joining us with Soaring Prophets and Friends. Hope to see you guys soon. Check out more of our content. Like, subscribe, and share. We really love when we see these people, you folks coming on here, the profiteers, coming on here and talking with us and giving comments and giving us feedback on what you want to see next. And hopefully you take something away from this. As always, folks, let's make some money together.
Friends to me are people who feel like home, who support me unconditionally. They will always have my back. That's my friends to me.
Hey everyone, it's Kate here from Kate L. Tom's Fit. Remember, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Kate L. Tom's Fit. You can also head to my website at kateltomsfit.ca. I'm coming at you with another hot tip for success in 2023. If you are someone who is on a fitness journey, a weight loss journey, a healthy habits journey, I am going to share my number one tip to keep you on the straight and narrow. And I want to just talk about how busy our lives can get and how much we have on our plates. And it is really easy to have those meals out, to have the quick frozen dinners from the freezer because we are busy. So in my house, Sundays are always about meal prep. I have written down what we're going to eat for the week, and I prep all of it on Sunday so that I just can grab and go, and I don't have to think about what I'm eating. I don't have to worry about turning on the stove or prepping all of these things and creating so many dishes because it's already done. So things that I always have prepped and on hand in this house: overnight oats, so using oats, unsweetened almond milk, protein powder, and frozen berries. An amazing staple to keep you feeling full. I also often have, this is cottage cheese, but you can also use yogurt. So cottage cheese, frozen berries, and then I will top it with some cereal or granola when I'm about to eat it. I even go as far as to prep my fruit. If I'm having apples, apple slices, berries, all of that, prep so that you are sure of the amounts that you're eating so you can hit your goals. I also make blender muffins. So these are really, really great, again, to grab and go on your way out the door so that you don't stop, at the Tim Hortons or the drive-through, because that's probably not aligning with your goals. I also often bulk cook my dinner. So here I have 1 pound of ground turkey cooked up and ready with taco seasoning on it because I'm going to have taco salads this week. Another thing I have prepped is another pound of ground turkey because I'm going to make some Greek bowls. I have my rice prepped. I've made some egg white muffins. All of these things are going to be gone by the end of the week, and I'm going to be sure that I am going to be reaching my goals. I'm going to be sticking to the plan, and I'm going to have an easy week because it's ready to go. Thanks for watching.
Friends to me are people who feel like home, who support me unconditionally. They will always have my back. That's my friends to me. And that's what they mean to me.
Hey guys, Katie here again. I had someone on Messenger ask me to sing a song that I used to sing a long time ago called Irish Eyes. It's a song written by an amazing musician and songwriter, Jude Waltman. And him and I used to sing this back in the day. And I can say back in the day because it was a very long time ago. And so I'm going to sing it for you guys today. Hope you enjoy it. Irish Eyes, written by Jude Waltman. Here we go. Thanks. Hopefully you enjoy it. Bye.
Friends to me are people who feel like home, who support me unconditionally. They will always have my back. That's my friends to me. That's what they mean to...
All right, we're here with Chris Brown, the January Runner's Life Athlete of the Month. Chris, you had a great month. You brought your 5K time down from 29 minutes down to 27. How did you do that?
I did a oxygen test, I guess you call it, or
lactate
test. Told me that I needed to slow right down, and found out that I'd been running way too hard for way too long. And having slowed down allowed my body to, I guess, absorb more oxygen and allow me to expend more energy. So I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. So what's the next race you got lined up?
We're going to try the half marathon in Chile there in March, and then after that I'm heading to Mount Trapel for an Olympic trial.
Oh, that's great. Favorite pump up jam?
Human race.
Human race. All right, congratulations, Chris, Runner's Life Athlete of the Month for January.
To me are people who feel like home, who support me unconditionally. They will always have my back. That's my friends to me, and that's what they mean to. To me are people who feel like home, who support me unconditionally. They will always have my back. That's my friends to me.
To fill that gap. Why a race? Why the ultra? What brought you to put all of those things together into a concise unit that promotes mental health?
The answer to that is quite a long and involved one. It wasn't a one-step decision to do this run for mental health. I was first of all a runner, and then a mental health advocate. So back in 2005, I ran my first marathon and crossed the finish line, and it was transcendental. This doing this marathon was amazing. I'm an engineer, and we had a training plan, we had a race plan, executed, and got the result that was predicted, and that's perfection, right? So and it was really hard and physically challenging, and I wasn't sure how much my body could take. So what was I capable of? At that time I was 45 years old. Can I do more? And I'd heard about longer runs, these ultras. So I ran an ultra, and when I ran that first marathon, I had signed up online and clicked a button to raise funds for the associated charity. and it was something that I had no connection with, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and raised $500 for a charity by sending out a few emails. And I thought that was,
oh, this is easy. We can do this.
Exactly. That was pretty awesome. How can I do more? How can I make that better? So the next year I ran the Great Wall Marathon in China and raised more money for the Arthritis Society, and I've got arthritis. So each year after that, I would try to run a longer run or a more difficult run, and connect my run to a charity. So I did runs for Habitat for Humanity and the Canadian Diabetes Association and a few other charities. In 2014, I did really well in a 48-hour race. I finished as first place male. I've got the medallion over here. And I'm a back of the pack runner. So the only reason I finished as first place male is in 48 hours, I only slept, I think 3 little 20-minute naps, and all the other competitors would sleep for 4 hours each night. So I was like the tortoise and the hare thing, right?
Right.
So I was bragging to a buddy that I'd finished first place, and he said, "My wife just said you should run across Canada." And I thought, well, I've kind of already thought that, but I don't have enough vacation time. But the point of that is I was looking for what is there that's another challenge that's maybe longer than 48 hours. And so that was 2014. And I heard that this race director who organizes a race called Beast of Burden in Buffalo. So it's in upstate New York. And there's a summer version and a winter version. And they had organized a race from, I think it was Rochester, along the Erie Canal all the way to Buffalo, 600 some kilometers. And a friend of mine registered for it, so no peer pressure or anything. So I thought I had to register for that, and I'll do a fundraiser for, what should I do? That was a summer that Robin Williams died by suicide. There was a bunch of social media mainstream media coverage about our first responders and military struggling with PTSD and high suicide rates. And 2 of my older brothers had died by suicide. My wife, my daughter, my oldest sister all struggle with depression. So mental health. I've got to do this run for mental health. So taking kind of a step back from that, even at that stage, the main motivation was to do a run, to do the interesting run, to do the big project or the big challenge. It wasn't mental health advocacy. The mental health advocacy was when I run for a charity or for a cause, or up until that time, when I would do that, it would add a little bit more accountability to my run. So it would help me with my training. And on these days, like this morning when there was 4 inches of snow outside, if I don't have a little bit of outward accountability, or with that outward accountability, it makes it a little easier to lace up my shoes and go out for a run when I otherwise just want to stay in bed, right? So
love you forever.